the test so far. They're answering the challenge right now, and that's the goal here is to get better every day. They come with great attitudes. They got great spirits about them. They're gamers. They're stepping up. These are valuable moments for them. So I didn't expect that we'd be playing them this much and relying on them so much, especially on the bookend positions like your starting center and your point guard to be rookies. It's a lot. So I think they've handled it great, and wonderful spirits, wonderful people.
And how big a concern is the Chicago's pace and how much they like to kind of get up and down?
Yeah, tremendously. I mean, we gotta respond from the Atlanta game where we had really poor transition defense. So it's been a focus of ours, over the last, call it 24 hours, and we got to get better in those areas, and it really starts with those young guys, making sure they understand what transition defense means for us, the urgency, communication, talking, getting back. So it's the number one key tonight.
You coached Vucevic when you were in Orlando when he was very, very young. Did you have an inkling of back then of the potential and what kind of career?
He didn't tell you I taught him everything he knows? He didn't tell you that?
Then you did a heck of a job.
Well, you should ask Vucevic, It was amazing. Like, he wasn't, I don't want to go back to that trade, but, he wasn't really thought of. I think he was valued in that trade, but I think there were some other pieces that maybe were more valuable in theory. And then you just watch this kid, rise up and get better every year. And I'm proud of him. He's one of my favorites out there. We spent a lot of time together those couple years in Orlando, and just to see his maturity as a player, but more as a man, to become a father and a husband. He's a wonderful individual, and he just carries himself with great poise and grace, and wonderful, wonderful person and player.
I know it's probably pretty obvious, but how tough is it when you don't have Herb Jones after the
To put out fires everywhere, it's tough. It's tough on your defense, but somebody else has to step into that role. That's the goal here, is that, guys like Peavy and Bryce and Sadiq have to step into that defensive mindset, and that's the beauty with this thing. Next man up, go compete. They're watching a great example in Herb Jones. Hopefully for the rest of Micah's career, he can look back and say, man, I learned from one of the greatest, and I want to be that, and that's going to be my role. So we're going to miss Herb, obviously, tremendously until he's back, but until then, these other guys got to hold the fort down, and I expect them to. That's the goal here, is that I expect them to step up, especially on the defensive end right now. We're putting a lot of time and effort and focus into that end of the floor, and those guys are more than capable of doing this.
And there was also an update today that Jordan was clear for basketball activities. Just what are the next steps for him before he's finally going to be ready to play, and how much is going to help us get him back out there?
Well, it'd be great to get him back. As soon as he's back, he'll have major impact. We miss his scoring, playmaking, veteranism, shooting, obviously. But I think it's probably going to be a slow ramp-up. I don't know exactly. I'll have to sit with the medical group probably tomorrow and kind of get a game plan together. I don't have that, for you yet, but I think the goal is to get him back into practice to some degree, shoot-arounds to some degree. We don't have a lot of practice time, but we'll do as best we can as soon as we can, get him on the floor, and start with, maybe some, I don't know where the contact is yet. That's where I got to figure out how much contact he can do right now.
And going back to Herb, we kind of talked about the other night the soft tissue injuries and how they're on the rise around the league. How much are you guys kind of doing to kind of, try to prevent those or be mindful of it, just kind of seeing how much is going on, with teams around the league?
Well, we're very mindful of their bodies. That's kind of the number one concern. Make sure that our guys are healthy. Our performance team does a great job. They're in high communication with our players, with our staff. We're very aware of, where guys are physically. Fatigue's a massive part of this, NBA world. These guys are playing, 11 and 17 at a high pace, high minutes, high volume. It's a lot on their body, so we're very aware of it.
James, seemingly losses can negatively impact rookies. How cognizant are you of your three? I know it doesn't seem like, to us, the public perception is that these guys don't seem to be affected by it, like they're bulletproof, but how cognizant are you behind the scenes about something like this?
I think just in general, your culture, your team in general, I can't even say it's just the rookies, it's everybody, but losing's tough. It's tough on the psyche. It's tough on the spirit, on the fiber of your team. It challenges you in many, many ways. It challenges your togetherness, your spirit, and our rookies are feeling that right now. But they don't seem to be fazed by it. I know this is probably the the most they've had in probably a while, you know, and, but, you know, the goal is to get up the next day, work, get better. I think they're looking at it as an opportunity right now, right in front of them. Here's a great opportunity for me to get better, get minutes, and help this team win. And I think that's more the mindset coming from those three. Good, thanks, thanks.
Hey, just wanted to see you, man. How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, good to see you. It's good to see you.